Welcome back, travel fans. I'm Morgan from the very unofficial travel guides, and on this week's Sunday Sofatime, we are once again going to be talking about falling off a cruise ship. If you have any kind of social media or if you watch the news in Europe, I'm sure that you have heard about this story. Yes, a woman named Kay Longstaff. Some reports say that she is 45, some that say that she is 46. That's a little bit unclear. What they are all saying is that she fell off the 7th deck at the back of the Norwegian Star cruise ship and was rescued after 10 hours in the ocean. Most of the reports are saying that she's, what a heroic thing she survived for 10 hours in the ocean, and then how fantastic that she was rescued, and what a miracle that this could happen and that she's still alive. And there's a detail in this story that I would really like to sort of talk about, to dissect, and it might be kind of controversial, but if you've been here for a while, I think you know what's coming. And for everybody who doesn't know what's coming, then just come a little closer. Just come here. I want to tell you. Nobody falls off of a cruise ship. I'm so frustrated again. I can't believe the way the media is covering this story. I can't believe that she's being she's being praised for surviving in the ocean for 10 hours. And I think, yeah, well, you know what? If she hadn't jumped off the ship, then she wouldn't have had the opportunity to survive, or this challenge to survive in the ocean for 10 hours anyways. You cannot fall off of a cruise ship. If you are acting responsibly, you cannot accidentally fall off a cruise ship. I've made a video about this before. It's linked in the description below. It's in the little card thing up here. If you have access to that in whatever device you're watching this video on, go ahead and watch that. It's a very popular video actually, and I'm sure it's been getting a lot of hits again in the last few days after this has happened as well. But you cannot accidentally fall off a cruise ship. Kay, you did not fall off of that ship. And if you did fall, you were already doing something really irresponsible. And you know what? I think there are some people who maybe they start doing something kind of silly, like climbing over the railing or going, leaning way over the balcony, and they're not planning to leave the ship, but then they do accidentally fall. But I know Kay, and you know Kay, you know that you did not fall accidentally. And I'll tell you why. The reports say that she fell off the 7th deck at the back of the ship. So check out the shape of the back of the Norwegian Star. Do you see this little, this booty that it has? There's a part of it sticking out at the back. And this is the 7th deck here. So if she really fell, if for some weird reason she accidentally fell off the ship, she would have bounced off that booty before she landed in the water, and there's no way she would have survived that, or she would have had many, many injuries, I think, internal injuries, and would not have been able to survive 10 hours in the ocean before she was rescued. And there are interviews of her after she's getting off the rescue ship, and she's obviously standing and walking, and she looks fine, so we know that that didn't happen. So my question is, how did she accidentally fall off but still manage to clear that part of the ship? And my theory says that she didn't accidentally fall, that she jumped. She jumped off of this ship. Just like almost everybody else who accidentally falls off a ship, she didn't fall, she jumped. She did not want to stay on that ship. She wanted to commit suicide or whatever her plan was. I don't know. I mean, in a way, I do feel bad for her because a very dramatic thing to do. And, how do you get into the mindset? How do you convince yourself that this is a good idea to jump off the ship in the middle of the night in the middle of the ocean? Not a good idea. Something already has to be a little bit shaky up here. You know what I mean? The reports also say that they found her shirt on the deck at the place where she apparently fell off the ship. So if she fell off the ship, why did she take off her shirt before she fell off the ship? Like, is she standing on the deck, really close to the railing, and she's like, oh, I think I'll just take off my shirt here in the middle of the night, and whoops, I fell off the ship and I managed to clear the back. It didn't happen that way. She jumped. For whatever reason, she was standing there. She decided she wanted to not be on the ship anymore. She took off her shirt because she knew she'd be swimming in the water, and then she jumped off the back of the ship. Kay, you jumped. I think it would be a really responsible thing for you to, in the next interview you give, tell the truth. To say, I didn't fall off the ship. I was in a bad mood. I was arguing with my boyfriend. Reports say she was arguing with her boyfriend, and she decided that she wanted to end it, and so she jumped. You don't fall off a ship. If you agree or disagree with me about this, please write it in the comments below. It's nice to know that there are people who agree with me, and if you are somebody who thinks that she did accidentally fall off the ship, then please write that in the comments below, because I would love to start a conversation with you, how you think that that's possible, because I've been on 13 cruise ships now, and I can't fathom how anybody who's acting responsibly could accidentally fall off a ship. And now comes the time on Sunday Sofa Time where I talk about your comments live here on air. In last week's Sunday Sofa Time, I talked about and showed you a small tour of the Vibe Beach Club on the bigger Norwegian cruise line ships. And there's something I noticed when I went back and watched the video myself. I say Vibe Beach Club like 500 times in that video. So if you haven't watched it yet, you could make a drinking game out of it. Drink every time I say Vibe Beach Club, Vibe Beach Club, Vibe Beach Club, Vibe Beach Club, and probably end up in a coma and maybe then fall off a cruise ship. I got kind of annoyed at myself after watching it, so if you got annoyed too about hearing Vibe Beach Club, I'm sorry. But these comments are referring to that video. Starting with CCC. Nice name. CC writes, we were able to get Vibe passes on a recent escape sailing. It was a peaceful retreat, almost too peaceful. No music. It would have been nice to have some background music, but we were told that people complain. I would have been one of them, by the way. One other perk to the Vibe experience was personalized service. Each of the 3 bartenders called us by name and brought drinks to our loungers. It was very nice. That sounds great to me. And as far as the music goes, I think that's one of the things that makes Vibe Beach Club so attractive to me. One of the major factors is that it's an outdoor, large sort of deck pool feeling, but I don't have to listen to any music I don't want to listen to. If I want to listen to music, then I can put on my headphones and listen to exactly what I want to hear. And that's something that I appreciate. MRS or Mrs. BS writes, am I the only person that won't swim in the pools or sit in the hot tubs? Maybe. I mean, like I said in the video, I don't like to sit in the hot tubs just because if it's warm, I don't want to sit in warm water. I'm more of like a cool down, go in cold water kind of person, but I don't know, why don't you like to swim in the pools or sit in the hot tubs? And the final comment is from Wix the Quicks. Wix writes, NCL is my favorite line, especially because of the thermal spa, with the thalamus massage pool, hot tub, hot stone chairs, steam room, dry sauna, salt room, detox water, etc. It's much larger on their newer ships, and to me, worth it for the paid pass over the Vibe Beach Club. But to each their own. Most don't even know that NCL Spa is unlike any other cruise lines. This is an interesting point because Vibe and the thermal suite, as it's called, I guess, are 2 areas that are sort of exclusive. You have to pay to get into them, but because they limit the amount of people allowed inside, you're basically guaranteed a more chill atmosphere. And so if it's something you're interested in, those are 2 interesting options. And that is the other one I didn't even really think about. And you know what? When I was reading that comment, I remembered that we got a little tour of the thermal suite on the first day. No, it wasn't on the Escape. I think it was on the Norwegian Jade. So stay tuned. When I start posting videos of the Norwegian Jade after the Miami videos that are coming up, then you'll see the thermal suite on the Jade as well. That's all for this week. Thanks for hanging out. I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides. If you made it this far, then as a secret word, write in your comment, accidentally, with quotation marks. That's how I'll know that you watched to the end of this video, and I'm sure it won't be easy, it won't be difficult to write about accidentally doing something in reference to this video. Special thanks, as always, to the VIPs over at patreon.com/veryunofficial. They get a little bit of extra videos and content over there, and they give me a little bit of extra support for that. And I'm very thankful, as always, that you're here. See you next week.